welcome to week 3. All right, we're moving in here, post the midpoint or right at the midpoint of this course. Uh, we'll get into next week. We'll be starting to look at the end of the course. All the assignments are posted. Week 4, week 5. Some of you are, your free trials are expiring, so you may want to think about uh, registering so that you can complete the course. If you're having problems with that, contact me as soon as possible. It's always a possibility to work something out. Um, but what the primary thing that you guys are struggling with right now are these little key assignments right here, and this is the assignment in McGraw-Hill Connect, and I think there's a couple of you that have not completed the assignments, and you're going to need to go back and complete those assignments. So if you don't have access to them, again, you need to contact me. Shoot me an email, a text, and say, hey, I missed those assignments. I need to complete them. I need a way to complete them. And I may already have a way, set up, but I'm not going to just give it to everybody. So you're going to have to make the effort to shoot me an email or a text, something like that, and then I can pass on that information to you. All right. So there's a couple of students that created really, really good drawings of their joints, outstanding drawings. I mean, one of you must be an artist or something, because it was a fantastic drawing. What some of you are missing though is the paper. All right, so you need the drawing and the paper to get full credit. List the type of joint. What kind of joint is it? You just write it in. List the movement, planes and axes, the motion that are in the joint. This is just a list. List, list, list. That's all these say right here. List the types of contractions. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a paper right here on A, B, C, D. All right. All I'm looking for are lists here. Right down here, this is where I want you to write about it. Discuss the implications this joint has on sport. Why is the elbow joint important on sport? Important to sport. How is it used? All right. I mean, this is kind of a really open-ended question. You can Google it if you want, but sometimes your common sense will work here. Discuss common injuries in sport associated with this joint. So maybe you need to look this up. What kind of injuries are associated with the elbow joint in sport? What happens for the different sports? There's tons of different sports, and all kinds of different injuries that can occur, from tennis to football injuries, basketball, all right, baseball. What happens in these sports? What's associated? Stretching and strength building exercises. How do we strengthen this joint? All right. What type of stretches can we do? Discuss this principle right here. I want you to know this principle, understand this principle. That's why I have this in here for this particular question. And discuss expert versus novice and safe versus unsafe movements associated with this joint. Particularly, what we're saying here with this joint is, if you are a baseball player, how is a novice going to be using the elbow joint? All right, versus a pro. What's a beginner, a novice, a beginner? How would they throw a ball? All right, how would a football player throw a football? A beginner, a novice, versus the expert. And why is safety? Why is this unsafe? Why is the beginner's movements unsafe versus the safety of what an expert can do? And this can be any type of sport, but that's what I'm looking for that particular question. So write about it, do the best you can, and make sure you create a drawing or a diagram or something. If you build something and take a picture of it, I take that too. But I definitely want those drawings and those diagrams. We're going to be shooting into, let's talk about this. So upload your response, type it, draw it, whatever, all right? And then you can just submit it, right here, all right? Upload it. And A few of you have done that. I just need the rest of you to. All right, we've got to get these key assignments completed and in. All right, so let's look at. There's week 3. This is what we're in right here. You've got this elbow analysis key assignment. All right, and you've got these quiz. On the quiz, you need to go to LearnSmart, and you need to practice your LearnSmart. And this is right here where it says My Course Resources. See if it'll open up for me. Mine's not even pulling up right now. Kind of refresh. Just say have a big LS right here. Just click on that. All right. Some of you, those quiz, you're not performing like you should. You know, go in here and write down the questions. I mean, that literally gives you the questions that will be on the quiz. You go in there, study them, write them down, go back and take the quiz and get good scores. Okay? Gonna hit allow right here. And I did post another video on this, but since we're talking about it, I'll just show you real quick again. It does take a minute to upload. So I'm just going to hit Smart Book right here. Okay, click right here. If it will. Let's check reports. Alright, so right here it says Practice Quiz. I'm going to click Practice Quiz, so I hit Reports, then I hit Practice Quiz, and now it says, look, there are 0 questions available, but if I select the chapter, how about the elbow and radial ulnar joint, now there's 70 questions, but how many do I want? Well, I want all 70 because on the quiz, it's going to be a random selection of those 70. A random selection of those 70. It could be any one of those 70, not just the 25. Any one of those 70 questions could be on there. So I'm going to hit Start Quiz, and it's going to give me the 70 questions. Now I could go in here and just hit No Idea, and it gives me the answer, and I could write it down. All right, write it down so I have it beside me. Whatever you need to do, but you need to make sure that you get the answers to this. All right, so that's that right there. All right, so now how do we get to our book? All right, so this is chapter 2. How do I get to my book? All right, so here's your book. So all we did was, and if it's on preview, you know, click over here to read, and you got your chapter 2. This is, you guys have to get in here and read your chapters. All right, it's you can just go to the next page, click through, read. All right, and actually let's see if I can get to let's go back. All right, let's see here. Just playing with this real quick. Back on LearnSmart, just hit the back button. Well, you guys have the idea here. All right, read your chapters. You know how to access your book through the LearnSmart link. You know how to create those practice quiz. All right, you got to knock those off, improve those practice quiz. After post week 4, you're gonna have a final exam, and you're gonna need to go back in there and practice those quiz more. All right, practice those questions, and it's gonna be it's a big deal. You need at least 50% in the course for me to even consider. You know, if you have under 70%, then I'm gonna have to take into some consideration of whether or not you need to pass or not. And I'm not even gonna think about it if you don't have at least 50% of the points possible in the course. All right, so look for that 50%, so it'll make an easier decision on me. All right, if you have any questions, contact me. Shoot me a text, 501-592-1899. Shoot me an email. Whatever you need to do. If you need to make up, then you better contact me. All right? See you next time. Talk to you next time.